Alright, y'all, I'm live.
What, you're live?
Oh god.
Hop in the group chat.
Wait. How do I get to the audio? No, you wouldn't. Because they're not going to.
Can we check it?
Live, baby.
How do I see that you went live?
Oh, tearing is horrible. iPhone 7 the music be like, so it would be like, you have to have like a timer, just like blast in your pocket, you just see stuff on your. You gotta do. It's like
Can you see the comment stream?
How many lives? Focus. That's how many. Can I see who's watching?
I'll send it.
I want like it to be like super hilarious for the stream. Cause I think I can save these.
See, I'll send it to
If they find out
the group chat for Jimbo Neary.
Jimbo Neary. Nah, I shouldn't get in trouble. What are they gonna do? Yeah. I'm allowed to film you.
Oh, I almost posted it there. Hold on, that's it. I just realized it says post chat public use Roman, so that might like stain my image forever.
Dude, nobody's gonna care. You said how many lives do you have.
College secure job applications team. Wait, I'll send you what I
Nobody's
was.
gonna care about that.
Here, let me send you what I was gonna.
Dude, literally, hold on.
Where's Dan? Dan Polo.
Please don't be blocked. I'm gonna show you how dumb I was when I was a kid.
Oh no, when I was a kid I posted, but I can explain that stuff away. Like this is, hold on. Here, I'll paste in, oh I can't, it's too long.
Dude, literally go to my first tweet.
Black people are gay.
Today, guys, on my Twitter, we're going down to my first tweet ever.
This is what
I post a video of me pushing a homeless man over if I get 50 followers. Oh boy. Alright, folks.
That's all, folks. Gang gang.
I'm gonna keep it up until the end of the day. I'm gonna end it with the daily walk that Dom always does. You motherfuckers better spread this word.
Spread the word.
Tell other people I'm streaming. Hey, yo, what up, Vlog Nation? It's
Dan Palafka. I got an average dick.
Big Nose Streamer 455 here. Hey, Jack, you wanna be on my live stream?
Your live stream? Yeah,
I'm gonna put my phone in Lanky's pocket and I'm gonna stream the whole class.
Someone just want to like.
Someone just
Like a weird alien voice.
Well, we're on school tomorrow. Bring him Tuesday. We're on school Monday.
Wait, bro, you know the thing like the vloggers do their phone like this?
yeah.
Are they all plugged in?
Sure.
We've got.
Yeah, I said, mate, you know what you're doing? We have a quiz.
Right, so the other day I have right, so I'm live right now.
Oh my god.
Someone put my phone in like pocket thing. We streamed the whole class. I got Roman and CJ watching me at least.
Make sure to block it the whole time.
Alright. Yo, what up, Vlog Nation? What number am I? I'm 15. Just enjoy the show. 14.
It feels really weird.
Yeah, I think they need that.
Oh, are we getting a famous dog flow chart?
Yeah.
I don't want this. Nope. Oh, we were supposed to be Sorry, we're getting like.
Oh, dude.
Big costume.
Dog, no one ever gives you permission to do that, bro. Alright, no one. It's like you busted a hole in my pants. No. It's like.
Well, I'm glad you're making, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, thanks for the view.
A whole lot of,
It's nice.
okay, I got it.
It's okay. I wear compressions underneath my pants. Wait, is there a hole in my pants? I think I'm one good big on my leg.
You know, there's not a day that goes by in this building that I'm not thankful that I'm also like a boy mom because like I get it. All right. Turn on your phones.
It's like a quiz day. That's a nice.
I didn't look on my phone.
You like that?
I know mine's right up.
What am I?
I'm 7.
I'm gonna go right there.
I did it last year.
Hey, Lodi. What's up, Lodi? What's up, Lodi?
I want to see Darth Vader times with women. Dude, it's no. It might take the whole class period right now.
Mitch,
No!
next year, college people start completely over.
So what's that?
Do you really want it like me? Bianca!
We are
It's like
I love the argument.
Now you're about to give up.
Okay, so this is done, right?
So where's your story behind it?
Oh, that is probably a straight line, boys. That went very well. Well, no, that was last year. This year, I have mastered.
What year?
I haven't attended somewhere. Star. Yes, sure. Tiger. Absent. Ziggy. Dylan. Edinger. Lardy. saw Taza.
Yeah, we're here.
Masters. Kozak. Martindale. Not yet. McLaughlin.
Here.
Walker. Sherritt.
Here.
Straka. Thank you. Language. Zendersky. Iglesia. Oh wait. Walker. Walken. And Tyson. All right.
Boy, what did you do up there?
Gentlemen, turn your phones off, have a seat, let's go.
I thought she was pretty memorable. And dark. Very dark. You ain't know what Hey, Nick. Game day soon.
Nice.
Kozak, how many you gonna drop tonight, Kozak?
Dropping 20.
Welcome back.
We want dogs. Kozak, what's your pregame routine, Kozak?
Straka, you're good with a 10 for 210.
Same.
Like the end of the period.
Dude,
That's me too.
I said you
you just dropped that.
Sweat sharp like with you.
I was trying to look out for a bro, but you got you had.
And then,
Oh, it's just on your thing, Spencer.
yeah, I just got the email. Cool. Everything else is okay.
Bill, barely.
Well,
Hi, my dogs.
I forget.
All right. Couple of things I want to go over. It is.
Hey, I like this to be honest.
The title page now.
Cause their sister's cat.
Let's talk about grades for a minute here because I'm a little concerned. Guys, shut your mouths. Nobody's here. There are a couple of you guys that started submitting stuff. Last night I sent out emails. There's a couple of you that forgot that vocab definitions were due this morning. So you need to correct that. Okay. To be completely blunt, the last 3 days have been the easiest assignments that you'll get. So I need you guys to get those in as quickly as possible to get easy points, and then we're gonna move on. Spencer,
Can you redo as it is?
can you redo what?
As it is. I think I turned in my vocab, but I can't remember.
I don't understand. Cos.
Why is turn in? You have to do 20 words.
What? Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I also don't know why that, like,
Mine was 22.
I get if all you put was research paper for your title, you'd have an issue.
No, I put like chromatography, gas versus liquid,
Oh.
and I put everything else I was supposed to
I have a
have.
question.
I just put words in.
Is it okay if I put in parentheses, my
Yeah.
turn it in, needed 20 words, so I.
Somewhere, that's fine, okay? As long as it's not in the top half portion where I'm looking at formatting, I don't care. But, I mean, like, your first and last name were 2, you guys should have been at least a half before you got to your title. I figured it would have been close. Running head was 2 more words, things like that, so. Hopefully everybody figured it out to submit. So, and why do they have it? I think it might be a spam or something like that kind of issue, I don't know. Yes,
83% plagiarized.
correct, a lot of them will.
Okay.
Because a lot of you guys all go to St. Francis de Sales School, it's kind
Well,
of
I
crazy.
did the
Can
copy
we
from
actually?
last time. I did a copy and paste from last for paper.
Right, so that could have been why it came up. It was highlighting things like the school, it was highlighting things like the words running head, which everybody would have had. So I mean, I looked at, somebody emailed me yesterday and they were like, I'm at 60% plagiarized. I don't know why, but I swear, like, this is my idea. I didn't grab the title from anywhere or anything like that. So I opened it up, I saw what was highlighted. I'm not overly concerned. And it's a good point to like remind you guys if you've had me before, but it's been a year, or if you've never had me in general. The originality report portion of Turnitin is a tool, okay? And much like most tools, it still takes a human to go in and look at it and decipher whether or not it was effective. So I never just look at the percentage and go, oh, you're hosed, I'm not gonna accept this. I always go into the originality report and see what they actually highlighted and see if it was because, like the logarithms were wrong for the computer program, because it is just a computer program that does it. So I mean, I'll always take a look at your originality report. We'll talk if there's a major issue. There's been a handful of times where I open up the originality report and it literally looks like a bag of Skittles because somebody truly plagiarized their entire paper. Those are problems. My rule of thumb is for true plagiarism or even accidental plagiarism, it needs to be under 20%. Otherwise, we have an issue. And 20% of things have been highlighted. There is no attempt to actually cite it. And when I pull up the other thing, because now when I pull it up, because it'll tell me exactly where it came from. When I pull it up, it'll do a split screen on me. So I can see both of them side by side, and I can see what you guys actually did.
Oh,
If it was plagiarism, that's when you're in trouble. If it was accidental, like there's an attempt at a citation, and either the computer program didn't pick it up, or you cited wrong, or something like that, we'll just talk, and it's a learning experience. Okay, it's only when it's intended, from what I can tell, that we have issues. Yeah.
If it's like a sentence and there's like an in-text citation after it, is that plagiarism?
It highlights it from time to time because it doesn't recognize the space between the citation periodically. In which case, if I see the citation matches up to where you supposedly pulled it from. The only issue that we have is when people try to pull things from Wikipedia and then cite it. But it was like, you guys didn't realize that on Wikipedia it was paraphrased. And you try to present a direct quotation from Wikipedia and using the citation that the Wikipedia poster utilized. That is an issue. That's you skirting Wikipedia, and yeah, if it's a direct quotation from Wikipedia and you're claiming it came from a different source, that's a problem. Yeah. Because you plagiarized Wikipedia. But the problem is it doesn't actually relate to that source. And you did it to like cheat the system. So the intent is still academic dishonesty. So what do I do for academic dishonesty? The first offense, I will zero out your assignment and email you and your parents, and then put a verbal warning on your file with the dean. Second offense, I zero out the assignment and I actually give you a jug for it because it's in the handbook. Third offense is a full demerit. So don't do it. Like, that's the end result. Same deal with cheating. Like, if I catch you cheating during a test, I caught somebody cheating last semester. I zero out the test and email everybody and put a verbal warning for the first one.
Who'd you catch?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It wasn't you.
You're so nosy, dude.
Just a question.
No, just be quiet.
Okay.
You know how easy it would have been to write a research paper in like 1980?
Yeah.
Yes, because, well, in the 90s. I mean, my husband watches me grade and he's like, thank God I don't go to high school now.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
like-
torture.
It's so unfair.
It's like everyone's.
Unfair for you, but better for the author.
They had to read
I've already made my.
They actually had to
Anything
read
else?
How about that?
I'm sorry?
Well, you could buy like
You guys actually had to read books though.
no, you could buy Cliff Notes and stuff that are like the broken down like the actual paper.
Well, SparkNotes was a book before it was a website.
Yeah.
So Cliff Notes was a book before it was a
So
website.
was Google.
So that was the broken down version of literature. But when he's talking about like the true research papers on, crop rotation or whatever you guys are doing,
Oh.
those we had to go into actual books and articles and stuff.
They just copy.
Anything else?
No.
Cool.
Oh, when's the next big day?
Thank you. I knew I was forgetting something. I'm like sitting here going, are we just gonna read? Review of lit is the next thing due. It's due 7 days from today.
What is the point in our review?
There is none. I just get to torture you with it.
Well, what is it? Straight up.
That's the answer you want.
That's the honest.
That's the honest answer.
No, it's not. The review of lit actually serves so that your audience, me, can take a look and make sure that your research is solid and that you actually have arguments developing off of that research.
Did you have to do those in high school?
I had to do them in college.
Then why do we have to do that in high school?
Because you're better than me. Can I tell you the truth, Drew? I never wrote a research paper in high school. I wrote one. I didn't have to use actual sources. It was a book report. It wasn't a research paper. I didn't learn how to cite until I got to college. It was brutal.
Lucky?
It wasn't lucky. I was in a world of hurt when I got to college. Because they don't care what you write unless it's cited in college. And I didn't know how to do it. So I tested out, BG will give you placement exams, right? To figure out what kind of courses you should take. Took my placement exam. I was a solid writer. Comp class, which means I didn't take all the basics of like MLA documentation and APA documentation and stuff. I went directly into the second comp class, and they expected me to know it, and I had no clue what I was doing, and I completely bombed the first couple of papers. It was the first time in my entire life that I got Fs on papers in an English, and I was an English major.
Look where you are now.
Research papers are dumb because you don't ever have to write them after college.
I do. I still do.
Well, I'm not.
It's possible. It is. I don't know what you want to do, but I mean, if you're going to do legal briefs, you still have to do them. If you're going to do
Engineering.
it depends what kind of engineering. My dad still had to do it. When he's a nuclear engineer out of Davis-Besse, and when he helped to design the dry fuel storage back in the early 2000s, he had to do all of that for the.
Looks like I'm dropping into
How can I help you? Hello, Mr. Fulton.
Oh,
Caleb Jordan.
He's afraid of buttons.
Well, do thanks.
Is afraid of what?
Right.
I don't know. April
Mr.
Fools.
Andrew Bell. You're supposed to see it for a minute.
No.
I love them.
Well, I heard Andrew, I got nervous.
Whoa.
That's not you guys today.
Oh.
Okay.
Scroll
That
down,
was
scroll
for the other
down.
book. You guys will get to that next quarter.
Scroll down.
That looks interesting.
You guys realize that's Toledo,
Yeah. Was that the powertrain?
the
factory?
powertrain plant. Yeah.
Wait, they have nooses in there? Wasn't it like some? It was a Marine, wasn't he? He was like one of the.
One of them was a Marine, yeah.
He was like a
Where is this?
He was one of the manufacturing
This
like.
is today. This is today.
Oh my
Why
god.
zoning? What?
Wait.
My dad's worked at that plant.
Anyway.
Oh, I was saying. It was probably.
Yeah, hug.
Mr. G.
Hold up, can I check and make sure that was not my dad?
I've watched the video twice now for.
I want to see it
I
now.
don't think
I really
we
want to
should.
see it now.
You ever seen what my dad looks like?
video?
I know what his dad looks like.
None of their last names.
There's a
Zach.
video?
Yeah.
What?
Of them interviewing the two people that were harassed for 2 years and called names and would see like multiple nooses and were told that they were going to lynch them.
2 years.
Wait a minute, then why do they keep working there?
They eventually quit. Now they're suing GM. That's how it came out.
How's GM getting
Where
sued?
is the GM?
Because it's the business's
Workplace
responsibility to stop the workplace harassment, and they didn't.
They're gonna get more money than they made.
No, they did multiple times. The
never mind.
supervisor actually went so far as to say that people were too sensitive, and they needed to get over it. They were told, and then one other supervisor in the middle of one of their training sessions was quoted as saying he'd never met a black person that didn't need to be lynched, so he doesn't know what the problem is.
Wow.
Welcome to, yeah, it's not good.
That's racist.
Welcome to.
We'll talk about that next quarter. Alexis Road up by the ice house.
Yeah.
General
Mine,
Motors.
going towards Whitmer.
Yeah, it's over in Whitmer District. I
They
think.
hired, so, they hired my dad to go work there.
Between Whitmer
So
and
my dad works
Whitmer
with your
and
dad up in
Sylvania.
Michigan.
Yeah.
They hired him to go work there for like 3 months.
When did this?
Yeah.
When did this cap come out?
That came out yesterday.
Like that was happening as of.
As of, yeah.
So that has been there for.
They actually, in the report that they did last night, they updated it to include a racial threat that somebody posted on the wall at the plant yesterday.
Wait,
Oh, bathroom stalls were we?
so that stuff hasn't been there, that stuff just got put there. It hasn't been there
For the last, no, it's been ongoing for 2 years.
Has that stuff been there for 2 years?
It's not.
Like that news has been hanging there for 2 years.
No, they've removed them and then they show up again. They've had 5 nooses in the last 2 years.
Wow.
Has anybody actually like hurt themselves on it, or they're just like?
No, it's a threat, yeah. So if you guys want to take a look at that later, you can. It doesn't really relate to Vietnam, so we're not going to talk about it. We will talk
But
about
it
it next
relates.
quarter.
It relates to the racism in Vietnam, like with the.
Yeah, but it more directly relates to the racism that we talk about in the other book that we'll read the fourth quarter.
What about the racism in Song of Solomon?
What song? What racism in Song of Solomon?
The whole book. The whole book was about racism.
Yeah.
The 7 days and everything.
That,
Like,
but we didn't. Okay,
Racism in Song of Solomon.
that was last quarter, so we're not. We need to focus.
Like 30 days ago.
It was last year too. All
Oh,
right.
Dad jokes.
Anyway, when it comes time for the review of Lit, which is due in a week, you guys need to have found 5 sources. So my suggestion over the weekend, while you're snowed in and everything's going crazy, and
I'll be at
like,
retreat.
you finally. My suggestion, I'm not assigning it and collecting it. My suggestion is that you start looking for your 5 sources. If you're on retreat, you're just gonna have to do it at another time. Okay? So your 5 sources, if you find a couple that you really like and you want to use, read through them and then form your paragraph summary. Okay, we're going to look at the formatting of that and what the review of Lit intro and conclusion are going to look like on Tuesday in class.
What if we go to
Okay,
school on Tuesday?
we will.
If we don't,
No, I don't
back
mind.
to Thursday.
Okay, stop.
Or Wednesday. I'll stop.
Or
Oh wait,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Well, in that case, I'll just email out instructions and you guys can email me your questions and we can still proceed as normal.
What if we're
Yes. What if unicorns fly through the room and like fart glitter all over everybody? I'm not going to worry about it.
It'd be pretty dope.
Yes.
Is this the one that the biggest source and you summarize it in a very
Yes. Okay. Other issues. Part of this angst is just because none of you want to be here today. Myself included.
How did you know?
This day was pointless.
All right, we're on 189.
There was
We're about to read some of this amazing literature. It's not pointless.
Yeah, I could have read this book at home.
Good, because that's also a sign.
I want to be a king.
Actually, I like when you read it better. It's much easier. Yeah.
Actually, one of the things that we talked about in PD yesterday, professional development.
Who's showing the
You
cow?
guys still like to hear like things read to you as long as the person reading them actually does it with like inflection and tone and voices and stuff.
It's very soothing. What page are you on?
We are on. We're gonna start at 189. Guys, you are responsible for making it to 204 by Tuesday. Okay, this chapter.
One chapter.
I just have to read this chapter. Ah, that's fine.
I gotta read the last chapter too.
They don't tell her that.
I started. Like right now, I'm starting. 189 for the 4th time.
This is like being a teacher.
Some days.
Mrs. Likey Jordan, we don't see the picture from yesterday.
Oh yeah, I guess we were at school yesterday, Drew.
Get him.
The picture that's like a picture inside of a picture that you can't see.
Oh, who showed you that?
No, you can't see. We have to read the book. So.
was it?
That was the funniest moment of the entire PD day.
What?
Because the guy starts telling us how we're going to watch this video, and the video actually takes place in the 1980s. But don't worry, and he does it without even thinking. But don't worry, nobody in the video actually has a mullet anymore. And we all were just like looking at Doc, like, not in the video, but. Yeah, anyway.
Shots fired. Yo, what Doc say?
He just laughed. I started writing a letter to Kenny. At first I thought I wanted to tell him about the war, about how I felt about the fighting. Then I knew I wanted to tell him about my killing the Kong. I started the letter off really cool, hoping that he was okay, taking care of Mama, stuff like that. Then I told him I wanted to tell him about a typical day that I had here in the Nam. Then I changed it to special day instead of typical. Then I tried to tell him about the killing. I started off saying that war was about destroying the enemy. Then I remembered about the news guys asking us why we were fighting in Vietnam. It wasn't the same. Saying that you were trying to stop communism or stuff like that was different than shooting somebody. It was different than being scared and looking at somebody who was maybe as scared as you were. In a way, I wanted them to know about me killing the Kong. In another way, I didn't. I wanted them to think I was a good soldier. Being a good soldier meant doing your job. For the guys in the squad, it meant killing the enemy. Before I went into the army, I had thought about being a writer. Teachers said I used words well, but writing that I had done a good job killing just didn't work. Yo, Pee-wee! What's shaking? You know that Kong I killed? Yeah. How come I killed him? Because he was gonna kill you ass, if you didn't kill his, Pee-wee said. That's the only reason? Ain't that good enough? I don't know, is it? It better be till you get your ass home, Pee-wee said. Man, this ain't even Booneyville, Sergeant Simpson said. This is the suburbs of Booneyville. He threw his gear on a small folding cot in the hooch, and that was our new home outside of Tamkai. You should have known this place was going to be garbage, Brunner said. We were right outside of Chulai, and that wasn't that hot. Brunner was right. The base at Chulai was almost like the old section of Fort Devens. The barracks were neat and clean, and there was even a post exchange. Where we had been biovac'd, west of Chulai, had been cool too. Our new area was something else again. It looked like the other fire bases, with barbed wire and minefields around it. But I didn't see anything that looked like a major generator, which meant that it was going to be dark as hell at night. The hooches were half underground and didn't look as if they could take much in the way of direct hits. If we got incoming mortar, we would have to roll out of the hooches into the sandbag-lined trenches around them. I didn't like it at all. The streams around here are a little murky, Lieutenant Gearhart said. Make sure you take your malaria pills. I'm taking every kind of pill I can get my hands on, Pee-wee said. I'd take some birth control pills if I could find me some. There were a few guys there from a boat outfit, the 159th Transportation Battalion. We asked them what they were doing so far away from the water, if they were supposed to be boat people. They said that they were teaching the ARVN troops, the Vietnamese friendlies, how to manage the engines on their landing craft. They any good, I asked? They don't seem to get the hang of how we do things, the sergeant said. They don't expect stuff to work, so when it doesn't, it's no big deal. They don't believe in maintenance at all. What it looked like to me was that we were going to beat down the Kongs and then turn over the last part of the effort to the ARVN troops. That sounded just okay with me. We went on night patrol. Night patrol from our last base was scary. Night patrol from the new base was something else. We were picked up at 200, 2000, Yep, hours. The LZ was in tall grass, which made us all feel uneasy. Somebody said that an ARVN captain had selected it. The only thing I really knew about ARVNs was that Sergeant Simpson said, and that wasn't good. He said that some units were good as anything we had to offer. Other units were crap and would bug out on you in a moment. What we were supposed to be doing was that what they called oh my god, I can't talk today. What we were supposed to be doing was what they called an interdiction number, which meant that we were supposed to be cutting off the routes the Kongs could use to cut off First Corps from the rest of the war. The area just north of Chulai was what they seemed to want. The Kongs we were after had been probing along our defenses, looking for soft spots. They would set up a mortar attack from somewhere within the jungle, raise a little hell, and then split before anyone could get to them. HQ figured the Kong operation to be a squad-sized unit. We had 2 squads from Alpha Company and 2 ARVN squads to clear them out. What we were supposed to do was to set up an ambush on what we figured to be their route. We hit the LZ at 35 hours. We went in first and cleared the LZ, and then the ARVNs came in. We had 4 squads, but only 25, maybe 26 guys. All the squads were short except ours. Simpson said that they kept our squad up to par because the battalion commander liked him. Near Chulai, the patrols had been serious, but away from Chulai, in the deep boonies, they were dead serious. There was no talking from the time we hit the LZ. Once we hit the wood line, the ARVNs broke off from us and we went ahead. We were supposed to set up a company-sized L-trap. Sergeant Simpson didn't like it because it was too big. We didn't know how the ARVNs would react. I just hoped and prayed we weren't walking into one. Wallowik was on point. Brunner was in the rear and Johnson was left flank. I was in the middle again, right behind Brew. In the darkness, you couldn't keep the proper distance. You were always afraid that you would lose the dude in front of you, that you would suddenly find yourself walking through the woods alone. We had signals, but they didn't help when it was really dark. Don't think about anything, Sergeant Simpson had said. Don't think about your mama, don't think about your girlfriends, nothing. Just look around and be alert. Sergeant Simpson had left him now. Brunner said that Captain Stewart had been on his case to extend for 3 months. The squad said that we would try to watch out for him, but we knew it didn't mean much. I looked around. I couldn't see anything. I listened for Bruce's footsteps. He sounded like a cat moving through the night. I heard the cat. We reached the ambush site. The 2 ARVN squads formed the short end of the L. The 2 Alpha Company squads were the long side. Lieutenant Gearhart set out the claymores. He had the detonating wires too. We waited. I was lying on my stomach. I tried not to think of anything that would get my mind off of what I was doing. I tried to control my imagination, to keep the shadows from becoming things they weren't. Something crawled across my wrist. I jumped, and I just managed not to cry out. It was too dark to see what it was, but it was still there. I tried to brush it off, but it didn't move. I felt it. I thought it was a finger. For a crazy-ass minute, I thought there was a Kong behind me, and he had just dropped a finger on me.
Like, I have a quick question. I just thought of while we were reading.
I grabbed it and squeezed, yes?
CNN bias.
Aren't they all?
So why are you showing the bias video?
Because it's not an informational video, they actually interview the people involved in both of the cases.
YouTube whack, guys.
Do you have a problem with racism, Drew?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Drew is.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Maybe CNN's racist. Yeah. So bias.
So the fact that they lay out the evidence and actually show you pictures of what they came across, and they actually describe the crap that actually went on in the plant, they have direct quotations from the filings from both the Ohio government's Civil Rights Liberty Union, and the fact that they also have complete and total from GM itself. That's biased.
Sit there and go say.
Could be racist.
People suck, Drew. Don't be one of them. It was soft and mushy. My heart was pounding. Every Kong in the world had to hear it. I wanted to turn over and look behind me. I wanted to cry. I remembered something. It was a picture of a guy with his hands on a bicycle. It was the picture that I had seen in the hut. I tried to picture the guy's face that I had shot. Was it the same guy? Could it have been his hut? I wondered what he would have said if he had killed me. Would he have said that he was trying to stop the spread of whatever the hell he thought I stood for? What did he think I stood for? What did the bullets feel like going into his face? Don't think, stop thinking, stop. Look ahead of me. Don't think, don't daydream. Look. Quiet. Suppose everybody had left me. I didn't hear anybody. Why was I so afraid of being left alone? It was possible. I knew it was possible. Look. I couldn't see anything. Once in a while, the moon would be bright enough to cast a shadow. Somebody had the starlight scope, probably Sergeant Simpson. In the moonlight, I looked at my wrist, a fucking leech. I got my bayonet out and cut it in half, then scraped it off my wrist. It stung like crazy. Ignore it. Sure. We waited for an hour and that seemed like 4 hours. We waited for another hour that seemed like more hours. Voices, Charlie. They were supposed to be so quiet, so cool.